Good day to you all, Hamjam here, and welcome back to another Project Sekai video. Today, we're going to be doing a video similar to the one I did in June, where I ranked all the commissioned songs in Project Sekai. Today's video is going to be a bit longer, as I will be ranking all the covered songs in Project Sekai. So, as of the time I'm recording this, it is October 4th. There are 134 covered songs in Project Sekai, so we're going to be ranking all of those. A few disclaimers before I start. First off, this is not a Project Sekai covers that flopped video. I do not think any of the covers flopped. I think they are all done very well. The seiyus did a great job. These are just my opinion as to which covers I feel just stood out to me the most and which ones I feel just were done the best in terms of just different elements of the pieces. Second off, please do not get upset with me, as these are my opinions. Feel free to leave your own in the comments below. If you're upset that some of your favorites did not make as high as you would have liked, that is okay. Just feel free to leave yours in the comments, but also understand that these are my opinions. Well, you guys didn't come here to hear me talk, you came here to see me rank these songs. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 134 is Sensation. Now, it pains me to put this cover last on the list because I adore the song. I think it's wonderful. Whenever I'm driving long distances, this is one of the songs I always listen to because it pumps me up. However, I just really do not like this cover. I feel like it didn't really do the original justice. I feel like some of the mixing was a little off. I feel like though the seiyus sang very well, I feel like maybe that the type of voice they used for this song just wasn't really the best, just judging by how the Vocaloids sing it in the original. But this is a good song, I just don't like the cover. Moving on. Number 133 is Darling Dance. Now, I know a lot of you who know me well expected that this cover was going to be low, but I don't like the song, I don't like the cover. This is one of the very few songs in the game that I just really do not like. And it's a shame because the seiyus did a great job, and it's put together for what is like a well-done cover, but it just, when I first listened to it, I was like, this is not it. This is not something that I would listen to over and over again, just because though it has a nice beat to it, and that, like I said, the seiyus did do a good job, I just really don't think that it works out for my ears, at least. I feel like Miku's tuning was a little strange. I feel like Miku may not also have been the best choice of a Vocaloid for this. I'm not sure who originally sang the song, but I feel like maybe Rin would have been a better choice, but that's just me. But however, this cover is done well by the seiyus and the producer. However, I just do not like it. Moving forward. Credits to Zooey on YouTube for any videos that do not have MVs. Number 132 is Tengaku, or Music of the Heavens. This song is good, but to me, it just feels like another classic Leonid song, like something that they definitely get. I do like that it is a bit kind of on the darker side, despite the light-hearted natured title. Ichika and Shiho do an incredible job here. I do feel like Rin was a great choice for this song, despite her normally being like a happier and more cheerful Vocaloid. I do think that this song was good. To me, it's just a bit monotonous, but the cover was done very well. Let's move forward. Number 131 is Roki. Now, this cover in particular is one I don't really like. The other cover they offer in the game, which I believe is Kaito and Len, I like significantly better. I just really don't think Ichika and Miku's voices blend as well as they should have here. And I feel like maybe that another Vocaloid would have been a better choice for it, such as Kaito or Len, for example. I understand that this cover is all females, but nonetheless, I feel like maybe a change of pace would fit Leonid well here. I don't really think that this cover offered that for them, but it's definitely, it didn't flop in any way, shape, or form. It's just a little boring for me, and I feel like some things could have been done a bit better. Moving forward. Number 130 is Marshmary, and I do not like this cover at all. The song is very nice, it's very wholesome, sounds very sweet, but this cover, I feel like what happened here is that they were trying to stay as true to the original as they could, but in doing so, they made, I'm not sure about the seiyus themselves, but as for the characters of Minori and Airi, I feel like in the chorus they had to go way out of their upper vocal range. The highest note they hit here is the B-flat 5, which is extremely high even for sopranos, which is the highest female voice. I think that they should have tried to stray away a bit from the original in order to just make the cover sound better and not make it sound like the seiyus and the characters were straining their voices. Miku was a good choice of Vocaloid here because she does go high quite often, but there's not really many things that I can say that I like about this cover because unfortunately I just don't. Next. Number 129 is Hitorimbo Envy, and the reason why this cover is so low is because we just don't get to hear enough of the song to make like a true judgment about it. It just really feels like, it just feels too short, it feels cut off very abruptly. It doesn't really feel like we get a chance to really hear the potential of Miku Kanade and Mizuki here. I mean, it's a good song and the cover is good, and everyone sounds really good, but we just do not get to hear enough of it. I feel like had they inserted a different part of the song, or the whole song like they did in the Sekai album, so I've heard, that would have just made it so much better. So, it's a good cover, but unfortunately it has to go this low, because there's just not enough. There's not enough. Number 128 is Dance Robot Dance, and a big reason why I have this cover so low is because, similar to Marshmary, it's just a little too high, even for Emu. It doesn't really feel like the seiyus are going out of their comfortable ranges anymore, because Nene and Emu are both sopranos, but it just feels like too squeaky and too, I don't know, it is nice to have a cutesy song for them, but overall it's just a little too squeaky and it's just a little too high, and I feel like the original was a bit better, just in my opinion, though the seiyus and Miku did do a good job moving forward. Number 127 is Dr. Funk Beat, and I actually really like the instrumental parts of this song in the original and of course here, because they are in fact very similar. But the thing I don't really like about this cover, a big part is Kaito's tuning. Not a big fan of Kaito's tuning in this cover. He sounds a little too robotic, and to me it's though that is kind of part of the point of the song, that I don't really think it works well with Akito and Toya's vocals. And another thing is when there's a key change at the very end. I know there's multiple in this song, but when there's one at the very end, and Toya goes up really high, it really seems to me like Ito-san is straining his voice majorly, and I feel like they should have had Akito do that instead, because though Ito-san does have quite a vocal range himself, I feel like Imai-san is just more comfortable up there, and I feel like they could have distributed the lines better is what I'm trying to say here. But it's not a bad cover at all. It's just a little funky, no pun intended. So yeah, moving forward. Number 126 is Just Be Friends. And yes, I know the MV that is playing and the cover that is playing with it is Luca and not the Sekai version of the cover, but I will be talking about the Sekai version of the cover. I do like that this song was transposed up a half step to make it easier for An and Kohane to sing it. I feel like that was done very well. It was nice to be able to look at the original through here. However, I do think that the song gets a little monotonous. There's not really much sort of a build-up of anything to it, and honestly, that's my main problem with this song. It's good. It's definitely good. And I think An and Kohane's seiyus did a great job. But I just think there's not really any shaping. There's not a movement to the line of the song. So I just feel like it didn't stand out to me, and therefore it is not higher on this list moving forward. Number 125 is Hello World. This is another classic Leonid song that I'm not really surprised that they got, and similar to Just Be Friends, it seems a bit monotonous at times, but the biggest problem I have, as I will state with some of the Leonid songs later, are the octaves in the chorus. While octaves sometimes sound really good together, and for those of you who don't know what octaves are, it's about people are singing the same note, but one is in a higher range and one is in a lower range. And so I don't really like the octaves in the chorus here. I feel like only one would have been better, and I feel like the higher choice would have been better because that kind of adds to the buildup of the song, which this does have, and I'm glad about it. However, this cover is just not my favorite, so I'm going to move forward now. Number 124 is Echo, and I will admit that after I did my research for this video and I heard the original Gumi, I have not stopped using Gumi's cover. Not Gumi's cover since she is the original singer, but I've not stopped using her version of the song whenever I play Echo, because I do like the original significantly better than I like this cover. I know that VBS is singing in a language that is foreign to them, and they do a good job at that. I'm not saying they do a bad job at all. And for what the song is about, I honestly feel like they could have provided a bit more emotion to the song. I feel like they could have put more power where power is needed. I don't really think they did that. It kind of sounds like a little, I guess you could say, if you had a straight line, it would kind of be that instead of going up and down like a song should. The phrases weren't really shaped the way I think they should have been. But then again, all the seiyus did a great job as usual, but this just isn't my favorite either, so moving forward. Number 123 is Nostalgic, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not. Feel free to correct me in the comments if you'd like if I'm not. But I'm going to be honest with you all, the original version of this song, I do not like at all. I do like this cover better, because in the original version, I feel like Mako just didn't really sound right, and her tuning here isn't much better in my opinion, but it's enough to where she doesn't stand out so much that she's all you can hear. I very much love the beat of this song, but the only reason why it's so much lower is just because mainly Mako's tuning, but also the little kind of muffled effect of the voices that Haruka and Shizuku have. I feel like they kind of could have showed their voices, showed their talents much better in other areas, but this is not a bad cover. It's just not high on the list for the reasons I've just stated. Moving forward. Number 122 is, oh goodness, don't cancel me if I pronounce this incorrectly, Bocca della Verità. I am not Italian in the slightest, and I believe that is where this name originates. There are a lot of good things about this cover. For example, both Tanabe-san and Sato-san, the seiyus here, their lower range is fantastic. They sound very, very good there. A big issue I have with this cover is the part where they go, I feel like, that could have been done, a little bit better. I mean, I just feel like it sounded a little, someone in my Discord server has said that it sounds a little goofy, and I can kind of agree with that. It takes away from, the effect of the song. Another issue I have with this song is the key signature. I understand they had to do it to fit the seiyu's vocal ranges. However, knowing the characters in general, I feel like they could have sang closer to the original key, because this had the opposite effect that Marshmary did, in my opinion. Whereas Marshmary tried to stay too close to the original, I feel like this strayed too far from the original. So I feel like it was kind of difficult to tell. What song this was at first when you compared this to the original. So all in all, this is not a bad cover, and it's one of the songs I listen to frequently, but I just don't really think this cover deserves a higher spot on this list due to the reasons I've just stated. Moving forward. Number 121 is Positive Dance Time. And while I feel this was a very good fit for Emu Nene and Rin as well, due to all of them having genuinely cheerful and happy natures, I just don't really like this cover. Any cover that has Emu screaming in it, I apologize, but I just don't like it. I don't think it adds to the piece at all. The English parts here were done relatively well. And this song is very cutesy, very upbeat, but honestly, I think, Emu, and Nene and Rin here, that they sound a bit babyish. I understand that might be the point of the song, and I'm not saying this is a bad cover in any way. I'm just saying that I really feel like, there was a way to make this sound happy without sounding like, sounding childish. And this is kind of a childish song in a way, but I just don't really like this cover. It's kind of hard to explain what I want to say without making it sound bad, you know? So let's just move forward. Number 120 is Melty Land Nightmare, and I know a lot of you who are watching this are going to be extremely disappointed that this cover is this low. You may even stop clicking on the video. But before you do, please listen to what I have to say. I love this song. I think it's great. My biggest issue with this song is Miku. I honestly just wish she was not there. I feel like More Jump could have sang this alone and been fine, and it would have been a beautiful, beautiful cover. It still is, but I really don't think that Miku should be there, because I feel like she adds a robotic nature to the song that shouldn't necessarily be there. Now, the MV, on the other hand, is one of the best in the game. I love how interactive it is. However, I'm not the biggest fan of this cover, and I apologize because I know it's great for many of you, but yeah, moving forward. Now, number 119 is Attract Light. And the biggest reason why I have this song so low, I like the song. It's good. I love how Ichika especially is able to get into her lower range, because she has a very pretty lower range. I feel like Len was a good choice of Vocaloid for this song. The reason why I have this song this low is just because it did not stand out to me. A lot of Leonid's songs do not stand out to me. And I hate that, because they're such a great group filled with wonderful, talented singers. And there are a few that do. But this is unfortunately not one of them. There's not really many bad things I can say about this song. I just do find it a little repetitive and monotonous. However, it's very wholesome and very good. Moving forward. Number 118 is Online Game Addicts Stretch Chore? I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And honestly, I think the issue here is not the vocals, because I think the vocals here were very, very good. I like that we get to hear Emu and Nene's lower voices. This is another one that I think Miku should just not be there, because I feel like either another Vocaloid or maybe no Vocaloid would be great, because I think there might be too many Emu, Nene, and Miku covers, and I understand it's because they all do have higher pitched voices and they blend well together. But honestly, I feel like this one in particular, since they are singing in their lower ranges, would be better without Miku. But yeah, that's about all I have to say for this cover. Moving forward. Number 117 is Summertime Record. Now, Summertime Record is a relatively recent song that released in the game, and it is an Ichika Saki Luca cover. Luca, I feel, was a good choice of Vocaloid here, because she does blend pretty well, and I like that, I like kind of the way her tuning is done with her vibrato. I'm not really sure Ichika was a good choice here. I feel like maybe Saki and Shiho would have worked better, but that's just me, because Saki, I think, does work really well here, but this nonetheless also feels like kind of a classic Leonid song. Nothing too special about it in my opinion, but it's a well done cover. Moving forward. Number 116 is Yomosugara Kimi Omo, or as I like to call it, the I Love You song. Don't ask why. This is a very nice Leonid song along with Rin, who actually I'm not sure was the best choice of Vocaloid here, because this song, despite its happy nature, is a bit more laid back, and I feel like Reen doesn't really fit that atmosphere. She doesn't sound bad here, though, not in the slightest. The little bit of English that is in this song, I'm not the biggest fan of how Ichika does it, but of course it is a foreign language to her, so no big deal there. This is a very wholesome and sweet song, but it's very laid back, and to me it's like, yeah, Leonid. Nothing else. Moving on. Number 115 is Glow. Now, Glow, the reason it is above the previous song is because, and some of the songs that have come before it, is that this song feels a little less like Leonid. Despite it being slow and calming, I like the nature of the song a lot. It's in the key of B-flat major, which is a very common key, but it's also used to express, like, songs that are not necessarily upbeat and happy, but are just make you just want to sit there and like close your eyes and smile. And I think that's what this song does. It is a bit monotonous, which is why it's so low, but other than that, it's definitely a good cover. Moving forward. Number 114 is Phyllis, and while I haven't heard the original of this song, I do think this cover is relatively good. Similar to a song that will come later, I love the kind of jazzy feel of this song, just the kind of swinging feel. What I don't like in this song are the key changes. I feel like if the song had like stayed in the original key, it may have been a bit better. I feel like Mako was a good choice of Vocaloid for this song, but Miku was not. I feel like it may have worked with just one Vocaloid, as a lot of Anko-hane covers do. I feel like Mako was a necessary part of this song, though, so I'm glad she's there. But yeah, it's definitely not a bad cover, but it's another one that just doesn't really stand out. Moving forward. Number 113 is Uninterrupted Indigo. And originally, I was going to have this song be a bit higher, because I normally love Akitoya covers, especially when they are with Kaito. However, when I heard the end of this song, this cover, my opinion of it, unfortunately, was shattered. Because for once I was like, okay, Akito's not up in the stratosphere like he normally is. And it's not that he doesn't sound good in the stratosphere, I just wish we would get to hear his low range more. And when he did go up really high at the end, I was like, he kind of sounded a little squeaky up there. I was like, Imai-san, were you just having a bad day up there? Or, I mean, and that's understandable, because not everybody can have their high range ready at any particular point in time. But I just feel like that would have been better if only Toya had sang there. I just don't really like that part, and unfortunately that kind of ruined the cover for me, as well as Kaito's tuning, because I feel like his tuning wasn't really the best here. But it's not a bad cover under any circumstances, and the seiyus did a good job. Moving on. Number 112 is Solar System Disco, and there are a couple reasons why I'm not the hugest fan of this cover and the song in general. One is just because I don't really think it should have been given to WXS. I know the title and the plot say otherwise. However, just like the slow, kind of line-like nature of the song, it kind of makes me feel like it would have been better suited for a group like perhaps Leonid or More Jump. Not Night Court, of course. But either way, I feel like this song strays a little too far from WXS's like nature, and not in the way that I think maybe it should have. It's not a bad song in any way, but and the cover was done well. I just think it can be a little mundane at times. So moving forward. Number 111 is Q Kurarin. And the reason why this one is so low is similar to a couple of the Leonid songs that have appeared previously, is that I just think that this cover seems a little too much like More Jump style. I feel like, well, of course they'd get this one, despite it being slightly more laid back, which is a good thing, which is why it's not lower. This just really doesn't stand out to me in any way. There's nothing that makes me go, wow. I mean, it's good, it's a good cover, and I feel like Mako was a pretty good choice of Vocaloid here. I can't think of anyone who would do better than she did here. But yeah, the girls sound great, as does Mako. Moving on. Number 110 is Shinkai Shoujo. This song, translating to Deep Sea Girl, is a beautiful More Jump song that honestly I'm kind of surprised that they got, because it is a bit dark, and More Jump usually doesn't sing about stuff like that, but it is a nice change of pace for them and I really enjoy it. However, this cover also doesn't really stand out to me despite the wonderful vocals used here and the great addition with Miku, but it unfortunately just doesn't stand out, and I think there are many other covers that are significantly more fun to listen to in my opinion. I apologize that there isn't much to say about this one, but let's move on. Number 109 is Imperial Girl. Now, this is a lovely cover by the Vivids and Miku. Just like the song before it, though, it just doesn't really stand out in any way. There are no particular elements about it that I can go on and on about, but there also aren't very many that I simply just do not like at all. I actually enjoy Miku's tuning here. I think it's done rather well. I as well think that both An and Kohane's seiyus did very well. It works this cover overall, it just works. It's just not exceptional in my opinion. Moving on. Number 108 is Hello Worker. Now, this song is done quite well. I'm glad there's an MV with it because I feel like if there wasn't, it would be just a little too mundane. This song is done very well. I think Saki in particular does a really great job here. I like how the line distribution is done, and I like that Luca is there with them. I feel like she was a great choice for this piece in particular, but again, it just doesn't really stand out moving forward. Number 107 is Happy Halloween, and honestly, I love this song. It's one of my favorite and one of my first Vocaloid songs that I was introduced to. However, I personally think this song should not have been covered. I feel like it would have been better left as the original version. Simply because I feel like the song is better sung by one person. I don't think multiple people should sing it, but however, that is just my personal opinion. Anyways, this is a good cover. Everyone sounds good. Reen, of course, is lovely here, but moving on. Number 106 is Lost Ones Weeping, and to be quite honest, the issue I have with this cover is a similar one to the one that I had in a previous cover, to where I just don't like the octaves in the chorus. This is one to where I also feel would be better off sung by one person. It's nice that Leonid got it, because I think it needs to be given to an actual band rather than simply a group of singers, but all in all, I just feel like this cover would have been better sung just by Reen or just by like a Vocaloid. I don't really think, I mean, people do covers of this song and it's very good, but I just like the original better. Moving on. Number 105 is Chikyu Saigo no Kokuhaku O. I hope I pronounced that properly. And the big reason why this cover is so low, to probably many of your disappointments, is because I think that this cover has the opposite problem that a few of the others we've mentioned before have. I think this cover would be better off sang not by a Vocaloid, but just by Haruka and Shizuku. I feel like Luca, I mean, she doesn't ruin the cover in any way, shape, or form, but she makes it seem less emotional, in my opinion. Maybe it's her tuning, maybe it's other things, but she just makes it seem less emotional, and the song is supposed to be emotional. It translates to the Earth's Final Confession. It's really supposed to, like, tug at your heartstrings, and I just feel like Luca just doesn't really allow it to happen, and it's kind of hard to hear Haruka and Shizuku as well. Anyways, moving forward. Number 104 is Yobanashi Deceive, not Yobanashi Detective, like I thought it was for so long. But anyways, this is another song to where I really have an issue with the octaves. I know octaves can sound really, really good in some places, but this is just really not one of them. But in this case, honestly, I think the higher octave should have been what prevailed, so Akito, because I feel like that kind of fits the song better than the lower octave, because it is kind of upbeat, it's fast. Len was a good addition to this song. I feel like he fits really well, and I'm glad that this was an Akitoya cover, but I'm just not the biggest fan of it, and it's not one I'd sit down and listen to for hours on end, of course. Moving on. Number 103 is Near. And as for this cover, this is another one where I feel like Miku and her tuning, not Miku herself, mainly her tuning, kind of took away from the effect of this song. Not to mention it took me forever to full combo this master chart. For what reason? But anyways, I think Minori and Haruka sound good in their lower ranges, but I feel like maybe here they hadn't quite gotten used to them yet in terms of their character. So all in all, this cover is good, but it's a little too laid back for my taste, though I do like some laid back pieces. This is just not one of them. Moving forward. Number 102 is Kalk. And despite this being an Ichika Shiho cover, which I normally they're kind of hit or miss for me, them together, I think that this cover works really, really well. I love the electronic feel of this song with a lot of the guitar in the background. It just sounds really, really good. And Miku, I actually think, works quite well here. She's a good addition. But this is one that only stood out to me a little bit. I think it really fits the vibe of like what the song was supposed to be. This cover was done really well. Moving forward. Number 101 is Childish War, and this is definitely done quite well. I like the Nene Casa, I like that they're together. However, I feel this may have been done a bit better if it was covered by a sibling pair due to the arguing that's done. Nene and Tsukasa do well since they are very different people. They do tend to argue a lot in the character stories, and Rin and Len, of course, I think fit really well here. But I've never been a fan of argue-ish type songs. I don't really know how else to word it. Just songs that kind of sound like they themselves are an argument. This does work really well for what it's supposed to be, though, so no complaints there. Moving on. Number 100 is Lonely Universe. Now this is a really good Mino Haru cover that I think is significantly better than the Near cover, simply because here, when the seiyus use their lower range, I feel like they've really developed it more from using it so much in the past for this game, so I think it really works here. I'm not sure about the choice of Miku for the Vocaloid because of like how quiet this song is, but it's good. And I think the harmonies in particular work really well here, whereas in some previous songs they did not. I think here they worked really, really well. This song is made by Aquera, who also made Ice Drop, and so I think this just fits really well for More Jump, and it's a very good cover. Moving forward. Number 99 is Melancholic. Now, as of the day I am recording this is the most recent covered song that has come out on Project Sekai, and I think it's really cute. You hear the word zen zen a lot in this song, which means not at all. It's about not being able to figure someone out, someone being confusing, elusive, mysterious, and it's a really nice song. I don't really like the tuning of the Vocaloid, who I believe is Rin here, but all the seiyus and, of course, the producer, they do a good job. No denying that at all. I just think that maybe with Rin's loudness and the seiyu's quietness, I feel like that kind of clashed a bit, and they kind of could have put them a little closer together in terms of dynamics, but other than that, this is a great cover. Moving on. Number 98 is Ghost Rule, and similar to Lost Ones Weeping, it really pains me to put this song this low, but honestly, I think that this song should have either been covered by Night Chord or left to the Vocaloid and kept as an original version. I don't think this is a bad cover, but if it was going to stay Leonid, I feel like it would have been better if more members had the chance to participate, and they also left out a very important part of the song, in my opinion. They kept part of the key change section, when it gets to A major, they only kept a short part of that in, and I really feel like it would have been better if they had kept more of it in. I know you only have so much time for the cover, but I feel like Ichika is used a little too much in these covers, though she does sound really good, but this is just one that I feel like other people should also have the chance to shine. Moving forward. Number 97 is Viva Happy. And though I really like this song, and I think this cover is really good, I think it's a little strange just to have teenagers singing this song. It seems a little strange to me. So I feel like maybe Luka, Mako, or Kaito would have been better for this song. I mean, not for the purpose of sound, but simply for the purpose of the lyrics and what it's singing about, but that's just my opinion. It's a good idol-esque song. I feel like it works out for, like, the motivational part, at least, in the first verse. You see that there? But I feel like this does work for them. It is just a little too cutesy, but, I mean, it works for them, so moving forward. Number 96 is Odo. And I really do like this cover. I think it's really good. So it does pain me to have to put it this low. But either way, I think this could have, if they had added a Vocaloid, it may have sounded a bit better. Because while An and Kohane do sound very good together, I feel like a Vocaloid would have put, like, that final touch on this cover, if you know what I mean. I will say, I think the harmonies done in this cover are done very, very well. This is in the key of F minor, which is normally not a key used for upbeat songs. So I'm kind of proud of this composer for doing that, because that's really, really nice. I'm not sure if the original song is in that key as well. I'm not sure if they strayed in any way, but this is a good cover. And I like it a lot, but I do think there are some others that are a bit better moving forward. Number 95 is Even If You Assume That It Is Your Happiness. And I put that in English because I didn't feel like putting the Japanese title down. This is a really fine Kana Ena cover, and I feel like Ruka was a good addition here. I feel like it could have been fine without her as well, but she does add a nice touch to the piece. I feel like Anna was an interesting choice for this, because I feel like most of these, like, really, like, I know Nightcore does have a lot of laid-back songs, but I feel like a lot of them are mainly Kanade and Mafuyu, so I'm kind of shocked that Mafuyu didn't get put here. But I think Anna does do a good job. She definitely does a good job. I feel like the tone, the way she sings in this piece, it really fits. And Kanade's voice in general just fits. So this is a good cover moving forward. Number 94 is Boo. And I love how this song kind of gives me Monster Mash vibes. Just like, it gives you like a little kind of, like, you could see ghouls dancing. I like that. I like the visualization it puts in your head. It's really good. It's a very childish song. I like it. I feel like More Jump was a good fit here. I would have liked to see maybe multiple Vocaloids singing it, but of course with all of More Jump singing it, that may have been a bit difficult, so I understand. But this is a good cover. Let's move forward. Number 93 is Kaisei, or Clear Weather. I love that this song always gives me beachy vibes. And as I'm recording this, I will be going to the beach in 2 days, so I will be listening to this song on the beach. I love that Leonid gets a chance to showcase their higher ranges in this song. It's very good. I like the key that it's in. I am a bit biased because it is my favorite. Mako was a good choice of Vocaloid here. I feel like she really works because she also gets to show off a bit of her high range, which is rare for Mako because she does have a little bit of a deeper voice. But overall, this is a wonderful cover moving forward. Number 92 is Literary Nonsense, and this is one of the few Ruikasa covers that I am just not the biggest fan of. It's a good song. I especially like how at the beginning the seiyus get to show off their lower ranges, which a lot of the times the male seiyus are up in the stratosphere, so it's nice to hear them down there for a change. But they sound really good. Len was a great choice of Vocaloid here. What I don't like is the first chorus, because I feel like Toki Shunichi, Rui's seiyu, I feel like he hadn't really developed his higher range yet, because I feel like despite, based on what I've heard from his singing, despite him having a higher pitched voice, he's not entirely comfortable singing up there in the super high range. So I feel like that kind of came through here, that he was a bit uncomfortable. He still sounded really good, but And I feel like the same could be said, but slightly less so for Hirose Daisuke, Tsukasa's VA. But I feel like this is a good song. It's got some good MV, and overall, it's just a good cover moving forward. Number 91 is We're Still Underground, or Bokura Mada Underground. A lot of people really like this cover, but I personally just don't see the hype in it. This is another instance of where the higher range just doesn't really work that well for Leonid. I don't see the hype of this song. It seems kind of a bit banal to me, boring. I couldn't think of another word for boring to make it sound like less rude, because it's a good cover. I really like it, but it's not something I could like really listen to and like try to analyze that well, just because I don't really like it that much. But it's okay, because the seiyus did a great job, and it's a beautiful cover with a beautiful meaning moving forward. Number 90 is Aoku Kakero, or Run Into the Blue. Now, this song is one of the covers of Ichigo and Miku that I think is actually really good. I think they work really well together here. This is like a really happy song, and I'm kind of glad that Leonid got it, and Ichigo actually is a great fit here. This cover doesn't really stand out to me in any way, but I think Miku's tuning is good, and Ichigo's vocals are just very good. So this is a good cover. It's very well done moving forward. Number 89 is Law Evading Rock. Now this cover is good, and it makes me laugh every time I hear it, mainly because of Tsukasa swearing, just casually telling people to F off. And then the way he does it, it's just so funny to me. My favorite part of this cover is definitely the chorus. And I feel like this cover, being a WXS cover as it is kind of supposed to like be kind of happy and funny. And even though it's a Ruikasa cover, I feel like this cover here is it's a good addition to the game. I feel like Len was a good choice here, because I've heard Kaito's Law Evading Rock cover, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. But so Len was definitely a good choice here. This is a good cover. It's lacking a bit in some aspects, but it's definitely a good cover moving forward. Number 88 is Sweet Magic, and this is a good cover, but the reason why I have it this low on the list is because this was a very early cover, and I'm not saying all early covers are not great. I'm just saying for this one in particular, it seems like the seiyus just hadn't quite found their character voice yet, and I feel like they were just experimenting with a lot of different things. They were trying to find out what worked and what didn't work. And I feel like this song was kind of an example of their experimentations. So some things worked really well and some things just didn't. Emu did a great job here, but unfortunately she is mainly the only person we really get to hear, at least from my perspective. But this is a good little wholesome cover. Reen was a good choice here. Moving on. Number 87 is Drop Pop Candy. And honestly, when this first came out, I was a little surprised that this was given to the Vivids and not More Jump. But personally, I think it works really well. Luca and Reen are an interesting pair to have together there. You would have thought it would have been like Miku and Reen, because Luca does have a bit of a deeper voice. But it works out for the most part. There are some parts where Luca does stand out a bit, but it does work, and An and Kohane, especially Kohane, in her lower range at the beginning, sound really good. This is very cutesy, which is why it's not really my type of song to listen to, but it's a good cover moving forward. Number 86 is Lost and Found, and if you know me well, you will know that Sasakure UK is my favorite Vocaloid composer. I really enjoy their music, and this is no exception. This starts out very soft and beautiful, and it changes to still kind of laid back, but it increases the pace, increases the tempo. It's lovely. I think Leonid was a very good fit for this song because it fits them well, but not enough to where it's like, oh, this is a classic Leonid song. It's good, but again, it is just not something I would listen to a lot, just because it's not really my particular style, which is why it's this low on the list. Moving forward. Number 85 is Setsuna Trip. which also is a relatively recent song that came in Project Sekai. I think it was a few months ago. Now, this is one of the first ones that have come up so far that I actually would sit down and listen to and try to analyze, just because I enjoyed the song. I think it's good, but in terms of cover-wise, it is lacking a little bit. Excuse me, I'm having a respiratory issues right now. I'm not sure if Reen was the best choice for this song. She is a good fit, but I feel like maybe either another Vocaloid or no Vocaloid at all would work, because I feel like Minori and Airi kind of should be the stars of the show here, and they are, but I feel like the two of them together might work a little better for this cover. This is a really good cover, though. The seiyus sound great in both their lower and upper ranges. Reen's tuning is good, so moving on. Number 84 is Inochi Bakari. And this is a nice change of pace for Night Court, in my opinion. I like the contrast of the theme of the song and how the song sounds, like the beat of it in general, the music itself. It's really, really nice. It's a good contrast, and I enjoy it a lot. I think the harmonies here, especially in the chorus, are done quite well. This song is rather new to me, so I did not fall in love with it instantly, but I do like it. It's very good. I think a lot of the seiyus, especially Sato-san, in the higher range, because I feel like Sato-san, she doesn't really get to go into the higher range as much, because Mizuki is supposed to be like I don't know how to pronounce this word, so it starts with an A, so I'll say gender neutral character. But she especially does a good job, but all the seiyus do great here. Meiko, I think, was a good choice for this song in particular. I feel like she fits quite well, so it's very good. Moving on. Number 83 is It Was a Very Beautiful June. Now, interestingly enough, I have almost the same things to say about this song as I do about the song that came directly before it on this list. A lot of things here is that this is a nice change of pace for Night Court. The MV is fantastic. Looking at it, looks amazing. I feel like the seiyus do a great job here as well. Miku, I think, actually really worked well for this song. I feel like no other Vocaloid could have topped how she did, because she did really well. Her tuning is done well. The blending of this song in particular is really, really good. But similar to the last one, as I said, this really just doesn't stand out to me that much, because I didn't immediately fall in love with it, because it is a relatively new song to me, but maybe it'll grow on me, who knows. Anyways, moving on. Number 82 is Jishomu Shoku, and this is a very, very early song in the game, one of the first Kanade Mafuyu covers, and I feel like this worked pretty well. I saw a comment on the MV of this video, of this song, that really kind of describes it in a very funny way, and it said, "What a happy song with happy lyrics sung by happy girls," and I'm like, well, you hit the nail on the head, sarcastically. Yeah, this works. This is a very Night Court-esque song. It's very classic for them, and you'd hear this song, you'd think, of course it would be Night Court, and Kanade and Mafuyu always work very well together, so this works well. Miku may not have been the best choice here, because she is one of the happier Night Court Vocaloids. Not Luca happy, but still. But she does work well because her tuning is done really well. What I really like about this song is the line distribution, though. I feel like all three of them got an equal chance to shine, so it's really good. Moving on. Number 81 is From Y to Y, and as we close in on the upper half of the songs, this is one of the Leonid songs that I do enjoy. I think it was lovely. I think especially Ichika gets a chance to shine in her lower range, so kudos to Noguchi-san, who has a lovely lower range. It's always very pleasant to hear her down there. I'm not sure how it is in terms of the line distribution, because I feel like it is mainly Ichika again, but everyone else does at least get some chance to shine. Miku, I think, was a good choice for this song. I think she worked really well. I do feel like, in terms of the song's theme, this was a nice change of pace for Leonid, so I am glad they got to change it up a little. It's really, really nice. So, it's a good cover. Moving on. Number 80 is Daybreak Frontline, and to be quite honest, I like this cover significantly better than I like the original. This cover is in the key of A flat major, which is transposed down because the original key is C major, and I like that a lot. I may be slightly biased because I love the key of A flat major, but the instrumentals on this song, especially in the beginning, just make me want to bop my head until the cows come home. It's great vocals here, very beautiful. The only thing I don't really like is the chorus. It's a bit fast, but of course that's how the song is. But this is a very well done cover. The reason it's not higher is just simply because I wouldn't normally put this above any of the covers that I have, like, on my Spotify playlist, for example. But anyways, moving forward. Number 79 is Ray, and this is a beautiful, beautiful Leonid song that actually kind of makes me cry when I hear it from time to time. I really like the higher range that the girls are using here, and I can't really judge whether or not Miku was a good choice for this song because it's kind of hard to hear her, but and this MV, for example, is fantastic. It's beautifully, beautifully done. This is a good song, and I enjoy listening to it. Sorry, there's not much to say about this one. Moving forward. Number 78 is Phony, and although this is a cover I don't really like, I think it's done very, very well, so I had to put it a bit higher than I would have if we were simply doing my personal preferences and nothing else, but we're doing that combined with how well the covers are done. This cover is an Olive Night chord cover, and I think it's really, really good. I love at the beginning, I believe the first two that sing are Mizuki and Mafuyu, and they sound great in their lower ranges. Very clear, very bright tone to their voices. Sounds wonderful. I just don't really like the style of the song, but that has nothing to do with how it was covered. So overall, this is a very good cover, and I can see why it's so popular. Moving forward. Number 77 is, boy, I don't know how to pronounce this one either, but I believe it's Dramaturgy. I could be wrong, though. This is a very, very good cover. This is also not one I'd listen to like crazy, though, but it is up high because I think it was done very well. This is one of the Ichiga Miku covers that I think is pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. This is an instance, contrary to what I talked about earlier, at the very end of the piece, where the octaves, I think, work really, really well. I think it's both Ichika doing those octaves, and Noguchi-san has quite a range, so it works perfectly. I think this is good. I think Miku's tuning is actually pretty good. I'm not surprised by that, because this is a great cover. But what I am surprised by a bit is that this is a little bit darker than Leonid's normal themes of their songs, but overall, it's really, really good. I appreciate the composer for doing this, and for the seiyus, and for the producer. However, while we're here, I'd like to take the opportunity to talk about the Akitoya cover from the archives. If you don't want to hear about that, you can skip ahead. That's totally fine. The Akitoya cover, I think, is very, very good. I wish it was not archived. I wish it was an option in the game, because honestly, I think both Imai-san and Ito-san sound very, very good there. I think they were on top of their game on the days where they recorded that, because especially at the end, Akito is way up in the stratosphere at the end, but like he usually does, he just sounds great there. He doesn't sound strained at all. And Toya's an octave below him, and that just sounds great overall. But anyways, let's move forward. Number 76 is Love Trial, and I will have you know, the first take I did of this particular song, I accidentally said Love Child, so that's just a little fun fact for you guys. But anyways, what I really like about this cover the most is Airi's vocals. I think she doesn't sound like screamish here, kind of like she does in Parasol Cider, but I think she just sounds like great here. I think her vocals really, really fit the theme of the piece, and I feel like Minori's vocals do, but slightly less. I feel like this is, I'm not sure if this is an Airi focused song or not, because I know it is just a dual cover there with Minori, Airi, and Miku, but I think it's a very cutesy song, but it For what it's worth, it just does really, really well. Not the biggest fan of Miku's tuning, but she does work well. I don't really think another Vocaloid would be better than her in terms of this song. This is an overall good song. I like what it builds up to, and it's a good cover. Moving on. Number 75 is Fragile, and I will have you know, this is another fun fact to share. This was the song I heard on the ad, the first ad I got of the game, and I kind of got entranced with it. As I did a deeper analysis of this song, I did see that there were a couple things that made me like it a bit less, but overall, this cover is done really well. I know Fragile is originally sung by Gumi, so having it put into male voices is a nice, unique touch. I think that Akito and Toya together without a Vocaloid, as well as with a Vocaloid, sound really, really good. This MV is a great one as well. But yeah, this is a good cover. Moving on. Number 74 is Hibana Reloaded. This is another Ichika and Miku cover that I think is done quite well. I think Ichika's vocals especially do very, very well here. I like how she handles the key change. It's very good because it's a very drastic key change. And I like it a lot. And I especially love to listen to the beginning of this. It's a little hard to do it when you're doing the absolutely insane charts of Expert and Master, but once you really get a chance to listen to it, you see that this is a good cover. An issue I have with this one is similar to Hitorimbo Envy, is that this cover is a little too short. It's very, very good, but I feel like if we had added a bit more to it, because it's only 1.5 minutes long in the game. I'm glad there is a full version, but since we're talking about the one in the game, I feel like it would be better if there was a bit more, and I don't think a different part of the song would have done better. I think it would have done well just adding a bit more, because I do like the part of the song that's in the game. But anyways, that's it for this cover. Moving forward. Number 73 is Buriki no Dance, and a big thing I do like about this cover is the harmonies with Tsukasa and Rui. I think they sound very, very good. Kind of gives it a bit of an ominous minor key feel, and I like it a lot. It's very good. Len, I think, could have functioned, the song could have functioned without Len there, but Len does a good job. And I feel like he kind of mediates because this is one of the oldest covers as well. So this is another one where I feel like the seiyus hadn't quite found their character voices yet. And in this case, Toki-san and Hirose-san, Toki-san in particular, hadn't quite developed his higher range yet because it did sound like he was straining a bit in the chorus at the very end of the chorus. But this is a well-done cover for it being one of the first ones that the seiyus did, because I feel like they did a great job for the experimentation they had to do. Of course, I am not the seiyus, so I cannot say what exactly they did, but this is just my theory. Overall, this is a wonderful cover. Moving on. Number 72 is Otome Kaibo Otome Dissection, or Maiden Dissection. And I feel like this was a perfect cover to give to Night Court. However, I do feel like perhaps Anna would have been a better choice rather than Mafuyu. I feel like Mizuki works well here, but I feel like Anna would have worked very well here as well. Miku is a great choice, though she does go a little raspy on her high notes. They sound good. And as of in terms of the seiyu's high notes, they hit them very well. They're not really supposed to be super clean and super bright, and I think they do them well for what the song is supposed to be. It's not a super happy song. It's very dark, and I feel like this fits. I love the MV. It's very great. But that's about it for this cover. Moving on. Number 71 is Miracle Paint, and I think this cover was done quite well. I am very happy that it was given to WXS, as I feel like this fits perfectly with them. And contrary to what I said about Buriki no Dance, I know this is not a later cover, but I feel like in the first chorus that Rui's high range was very, very good. He doesn't go as high as he did in Buriki no Dance, but it still sounds really, really awesome. I love the modulation here, the key changes, very good. Though I can't full combo this master chart for the life of me. It's very, very good. I love how each of the seiyus get their chance to shine here, and they each do it really well. it's very enjoyable to listen to, and when I was doing my analysis of this song, I found myself listening to it again, and I honestly was unsure I'd want to do that, because before I did an analysis for this video, I was like, okay, this song is okay, and then I listened to it and I discovered all the great things about it. However, there are quite a few other songs that really stood out to me a bit more than this one did, so moving forward. Number 70 is Irony, and this is a really, really sweet and soothing night chord cover, and I honestly think Len fits perfectly here despite the belief of a lot of people who I have heard from. I'm happy about the line distribution here, especially. I'm very happy that there's equal amounts for each member to get to shine. I remember I actually started crying the first time I played this song because I do get overly attached to music sometimes. That this is definitely a wonderful cover, and though there isn't too much else to say about it, it's really enjoyable moving forward. Number 69 is Blooming into the Mud. Now, this is a Mizuki Kanade Miku cover, similar to Hitorimbo Envy, but while I like Hitorimbo Envy, the song, better, I like this cover better, because I feel like we got to see more of the talents that the three have to offer, and I feel like Miku's tuning kind of helped with that significantly. This song, the way it sounds is, in reality, kind of, like, hopeful, you could say, but it's not necessarily that way, towards the beginning, at least. But this is definitely a great cover, however, it is a little slow for my liking, so that is why it's here on the list. Moving forward. Number 68 is Goodbye Sengen, or Goodbye Declaration, however you want to put it. And I really like the beat of this song, the music itself, and I like most all parts of the song, except there's one part where Emu gets a bit squeaky, and the girls overall are just a bit higher than I think maybe they should have been, but overall this is a really good cover, and I'm really a big fan of Rui's vocals. Especially towards the beginning. I think they're very, very good, but everybody sounds good. This is a place where I think the octaves really don't work as well as they should, but they do blend well. The blend of the song is quite good. So, moving forward. Number 67 is the 1-2 Fan Club, made by Mikito P. I love how strange this song is, especially like how strange the lyrics are. It just makes me laugh, along with this choreography. It works really well. I'm not really sure how to judge Reen being a good choice of Vocaloid here, simply because there's not a lot of moments during my analysis where I was able to really make a decision on that. But Emu, I actually think the way she sings in this cover fits really, really well. I feel like she's kind of the star of the show here, and I like that a lot. I feel like her vocals especially work really well for this song. It's got some Chinese lyrics in it, and I think WXS does a good job with this language that is a bit foreign to them in those parts that are Chinese. But overall, this is a pretty good cover moving forward. Number 66 is Devil's Manor, and this is another one where I don't really like the song, but I think the cover was done very, very well. Reen was a great choice here. I feel like she does tend to shine a bit more in some of VBS's darker songs, despite her being a normally happier and cheerful Vocaloid. Out of all the vocals in this song, I think I like Toya's the best, though they all do really, really great. Toya especially stands out to me, and he was a part of the reason why I have this cover up so far. But I think that this was done really well. I enjoy listening to it when I was doing my analysis because there were lots of different things I noticed, and it was overall a wonderful cover. MV looks great. Moving on. Number 65 is Milk Crown on Sonechka, and to be quite honest, in my opinion, we need more Minori Shizuku covers because this cover is done so well. There is a lot of modulation present in this song, and both seiyus handle it so well. I especially like the relatively quicker singing at the beginning with Shizuku. I feel like Honizumi-san does a great job with that. I feel like her vocals there are very smooth, and I feel like it's very difficult to do that, so kudos to her. And to be honest, when Midori and Shizuku sing together, you would not think that they would sound, like, good. At least I wouldn't think that. Like, I mean, good, of course, but I wouldn't think they'd sound outstanding. But their blending together here just sounds really, really good. And you notice I haven't brought up Miku yet, because honestly, she's good, but this is another cover to where I feel like Midori and Shizuku could have done it by themselves and been fine. But Miku adds a nice little touch to the piece. Anyways, that's it for this cover, moving forward. Number 64 is Night Sky Patrol of Tomorrow, and to be quite honest, when I first saw this song before I heard it, and I saw it was an Ichika solo, I was a bit hesitant because I really do love Ichika's vocals, but we hadn't really heard her by herself. We'd heard her as like a leader of so many other songs, so I was a little hesitant at first, but then I listened to the cover, and I was blown away. This is another one that I honestly would not listen to over and over again, which is why it's this low on the list, but I was blown away by how well this cover was done. Ichika sounds so good here. Noguchi-san, honestly, the vocal range in this song, I believe, it's over 2 octaves. And that's insane, because that's what most people's normal vocal range is. And especially at the very, very end, she hits a C-sharp 6, which is so incredibly high, especially for a singer like her, who is not necessarily a super high-pitched singer. That's incredible. And she does it cleanly. She does it well. It sounds smooth and not strained. And I just think just the theme and nature of this song, Ichika was perfect for it. Sounds so good, but unfortunately I just can't put it higher because out of my personal preferences, I just wouldn't listen to it. Moving forward. Number 63 is Vampire, and for this song in particular, I feel like Miku was a perfect choice of Vocaloid for this song to go with More More Jump, because she and More More Jump, they all have these kind of like cutesy natures, like to where like the little laugh in the song, for example, they can execute it really, really well. And I'll be honest, before I did my analysis for this video, this was one of my least favorite More More Jump songs. But I listened to it a bunch of times and I was like, hey, this is actually executed very, very well. All the seiyus in their higher ranges sound different yet incredible. Iru's lower range in particular sounds really, really good. And overall, this is just a really great cover. Moving forward. Number 62 is Meru. And to be honest, this song kind of scared me a little bit when I first heard it. Not because it's like creepy or anything. It just gave me like a really ominous vibe because of like how quiet the singers were singing. And honestly, I really like that. I know that's probably not something that a lot of people think, but this song is really, really cool. Kanade's vocals are wonderful, beautiful, and soft. Mafuyu kind of matches her energy, and I like that. Despite Miku being the Vocaloid here, I feel like her tuning also kind of matches the energy, which is good because that's what we need for this song. It's in a way both laid back and upbeat, which is something that Nightcore doesn't normally get to do, but they execute both aspects of the piece very, very well. Moving forward. Number 61 is Heart Forecast, and this is one of the cutest More More Jump covers in existence, in my personal opinion. I think it's really, really sweet. Haruka in particular sounds very, very good here. I will also compliment Minori going down super duper low at the beginning. Kudos to Ogura-san, because with a high-pitched voice as Minori has, that's not easy to do in her voice at all. But kudos to all the seiyus here. They sound really, really good. I especially like the way this song flows. Like the da 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 da. Yeah, you guys get what I mean. I like the beat of the song. It's really, really neat. Miku was relatively good choice here. I feel like she's a good choice for a lot of More Jump covers. But overall, this cover sounds great. And it is a good addition to the upper half of this list moving forward. Number 60 is Dreamin' Choo Choo. And the biggest thing I like about this cover is that everyone in More Jump has voices that are just different quality, but they each get to express their own individuality here in a way that makes it seem even more perfect together. That's kind of how this cover is like built. It's what it's built upon, and I like it a lot. I think Luca was a great choice of Vocaloid here because I think she blends in very well with all the singers. I think this is a very happy song, not cutesy for once though, which is a bit of a change from One More Jump, but no, nothing bad, of course. All the singers sound wonderful. I will especially compliment the chorus. The reason why this song isn't higher is because I do like I think some of the solo covers were done a bit better than this one was. However, this is still a wonderful cover moving forward. Number 59 is Traffic Jam, and the thing I like the most about this cover is that in terms of the lyrics, each singer sings each part of the lyrics with emotion and with power. It kind of adds a bit more flavor to the cover, if you know what I mean. I think, especially towards like the rapping-ish part in the middle, that was done really, really well. There is a brief modulation in the key change. In the key, not the key change, modulation. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry guys. But yeah, there is a brief modulation towards the end, and I think that's executed really well. I do like how Reen is picked here because she is once again a good choice for all types of songs similar to this that VBS get. My favorite part in the chorus is where this part here with like Akito and then on, I like that they all get their own chance to like express their individuality, similar to Dreamin' Choo Choo, as I said previously. But this is overall a great cover. It's very rough, but I like it. It's good. Moving forward. Number 58 is Kagero Days, and credits to Untitled on YouTube for this one since Zui didn't have one. But this song in particular is one I also think is executed really well, but that I just really don't like. There is a lot of modulation in this song. Like, it changes keys so many times, and I feel like that's very difficult for singers. I mean, as a singer myself, I know that it can be at times, but Leonid executes it very well. This is not one that I think the duet covers, the solo covers, were better than this one here. I feel like here, each of Leonid's members plus Miku, they get a good chance to like show off their voices, which are all very, very different, and I like that a lot because a lot of the times in Leonid it is just Ichika, but here it's very, very different, and I like that a lot. But overall, this is a wonderful cover moving forward. Number 57 is Aishite, Aishite, Aishite. And this cover is executed incredibly, in my opinion. Honestly, I think Mafuyu and Anna were the perfect two members of Night Chord for this song. I think that had this been a full Night Chord cover, I don't think it would have been as magical and as powerful as this cover is. To me, I feel like both Suzuki-san and Tanabe-san did a great job expressing their the music and their emotions through their voices. I feel like this cover here was an especially great example of that. And let me talk about those high notes towards the end. That's an A-flat 5, and that is very, very high. Even I struggle hitting that note sometimes. Very, very good. Miku's tuning I like a lot. I think she fits very well. She's also able to, in a robotic way, if you will, express the emotions through her voice. And I think this cover overall is just beautiful. It's a beautiful cover moving forward. Credits to Unlimited Fantasista on YouTube. Number 56 is Into the Night, or Yoru ni Kakeru. This is a very, very pretty cover by Miku and Kanade, though all the other covers of this song are also very, very good. There is also, this is a similar one to Kagero Days, there is a lot of modulation in this song, and I think Kusunoki-san, Kanade's seiyuu, handles it very, very well. I love Kanade's soft voice, but I feel like even though it's soft, she has a lot of power here, and I think that's really, really great. Miku's tuning kind of blends very well with Kanade's voice here, and I think it works a lot. You can really tell what they're singing about even if you don't speak the language. I mean, not tell specifically, but you're able to, like, tell the emotions they're feeling, because you can just visualize it in your head, and I love that about this cover. It's overall just a really, really great cover moving forward. At this point in the video, we've gotten to where I really, really love all, or most all, of the covers that are appearing, and I just have to rank them by a very minute thing, so please excuse me. But anyways, number 55 is Totemo Itai Itagaritai. This song perfectly captures the feeling of wanting someone to understand your pain, but wanting to keep a distance, wanting yourself to, even yourself, when you yourself can't understand your pain. Just the awfulness of that. And Mafuyu and Anna nailed it. There's so many covers that Mafuyu and Anna do that I think they just do so, so well. Aishite, this, and another that will come later. I really, really love this song. It's upbeat and fast-paced, but it is, boy, is it dark. And I love that. I love just the contrasting effects here. Miku was definitely a good choice for this. I like her tuning significantly. It's very good. The effects of this song just make it work so well, and how this cover was formed to make it even better. Next. Number 54 is King, and for those of you who know me well, you will know that this is a cover I really, really enjoy. A lot of people do think this cover is overrated, and I can certainly understand that opinion. However, I really enjoy this cover. I think both seiyus here do a great job. I think it was a good choice not to add a Vocaloid in, because I feel like that would have diminished the mischievous effect that the song was supposed to have. And I feel like the seiyus really nailed that effect. I want to commend them both for the very beginning in the first verse where they go down to that low B flat 2. I really, really enjoy like the vibrato, especially Toki-san put there. I feel like it works really, really well, and it kind of made it seem even more mischievous, because I can't think of a synonym for mischievous. That's my bad. But overall, this cover is great. There is some English parts, especially in the chorus with the left side and the right side. But overall, I just really, really like how this is executed. I think it works really well. Moving on. Now, number 53 is 6 Trillion Years, an Overnight Story, or A Tale of 6 Trillion Years and One Night. While this MV isn't my favorite, I think the cover fits really, really well. I like how Miku is there to kind of like offset Ichika, to kind of like help her out with the super fast parts in the chorus. I like that. And I saw a comment earlier when I was doing my analysis for this video saying the beautiful music gently embraces us who have been ripped apart by the nasty chart. And I was like, well, yes, very true. This chart, when you're doing this chart, it makes it very difficult to really listen to the music on the cover, and you find yourself hating the song without even realizing why, because it brings you bad flashbacks. But overall, this cover is really, really great. I especially love Noguchi-san in her lower range at the beginning. She sounds really great. She really does bring some emotion to the piece that I feel like is necessary. And this is another Ichika Miku cover that I just think is really good. It's a lovely to listen to, and I do have this one on my Spotify playlist. Moving on. Number 52 is Kokoro Nashi, and when I tell you I have been obsessed with this song for 2.5 years, and I am so happy that it is finally in Project Sekai. And this cover went so incredibly well, in my opinion. Kanade and Mafuyu were the perfect pair for this, and Len actually blends really well with them, especially hearing Len based on like what I've heard from the original both versions. Len just fits really well here. But my favorite part about this cover is how in the chorus towards the end, where Kanade and Mafuyu are singing, they're singing with such heartfelt emotions, but it genuinely sounds like they're about to cry. Like you even hear the little hiccup in there. It's incredible how they managed to do that, because I know when I'm singing and a piece of music really hits me, I start crying so I can't keep singing. So their ability to do that, I envy it. It's incredible. It's beautiful. And this is just such a beautiful cover. And again, I'm so happy it's in the game. Moving forward. Number 51 is Torinoko City, and this, I believe, is the first Haruka Airi cover in the game, and boy, it did not disappoint in the slightest. This cover is so gentle and calming. It's really beautiful to listen to, and honestly, it is a bit nice because it's a change of pace from One More Jump's usual like cutesy or fully happy songs. This cover is just calming. And I will especially comment Yoshioka-san's, Haruka Seiyu's, lower range, because she sounds absolutely lovely. Just sounds like she's so comfortable there. Of course, Furihata-san's lower range is lovely too. I just wanted to take a moment to point out Yoshioka-san's. And Miku, as the original singer, was a good choice of Vocaloid here, because I feel like she kind of helps it not stray too far from the original, but while adding a new twist to it, kind of like an arrangement. It's really nice. Moving on. Number 50 is Remote Control, and to be quite honest, this might be one of, if not my favorite, Emunene covers in the game. I think the original singers were Rin and Len, but I feel like it definitely works with Emu and Nene here. I feel like this song is a good choice for WXS while keeping a bit of the originality in there too. It's really nice. This song always makes me want to just bop my head and dance. It's super nice. This cover is a lot of fun to listen to. I especially like all like the robotic parts of it, because that's a big point of like what this song is. Normally I wouldn't be too happy about that, but since that's part of the theme of the song, it works perfectly. So that's about it for this cover. Moving forward. Number 49 is Karakuri Piro, made by 40MP. This song translates to Mechanical Clown, and it's about a person who believes their singing partner sees them as no more than a clown. This song is very different than More Jump's usual style, but in my opinion, it works perfectly. Each singer gets their own chance to shine. I feel like Miku was a great choice here. I'm not sure who the original singer was. I'm not sure if it was Miku, but overall, Miku does work really well here. I think that in terms of the emotions of the piece, they were displayed really well here. I really like the build-up to the chorus. I think that build-up was done really well, especially directly before it, as well as the quieter part with the modulation there. I think it was all just done really well. Moving forward. Number 48 is Children Record, and to be honest, this might be one of my favorite VBS covers in the game, whole VBS covers in the game, because there are just so many great things about this cover. Lens tuning is perfect here. I really like the paired off vocals towards the beginning. I like the modulation from the minor to the major key. I think it works really well. I especially like On's vocals here. She sounds really mature and perfect. I like how Kohane and Toya pair off and start singing together right before the chorus. I think that sounds really great. I think I especially like the very beginning part, though that's definitely one of my favorite parts. But overall, this cover is beyond fantastic. Moving forward. Number 47 is Ego or Ego Rock. I believe it's Ego, but I've heard it pronounced Ego as well, so please correct me if I'm wrong, forgive me for that. This song is actually in a minor key, but is very happy and upbeat, so those two things normally conflict with each other, and I think it's really cool that they were able to put those two things together and make the style still sound so fabulous. I think that's really, really fantastic. Love the MV here. It looks great. I love the line distribution here in this song, especially. I feel like it really gives each singer the chance to shine as they should here, and I feel like it just overall works out really well moving forward. Number 46 is Love Ka, and this is another one that I really don't like. I'm not the biggest fan of, but I just think the cover was executed really, really well. I love the jazzy feel towards the beginning. It's something that does happen with a lot of commission songs for WXS, but you don't really see it in too many covers, so I think it works really well here. Vocaloid looks like it's Mako. Mako was definitely a good choice here. This song is a bit darker than WXS's normal style, because they're like questioning what love is, and I enjoy that. It's nice for them to get to stray away from what they usually do here, and overall it's just a great cover moving forward. Number 45 is At God's Mercy, or Kami no Mani Mani, whichever you would like to call it. And one of my favorite things about this cover is how at the beginning, when each of WXS gets their own little part in the first verse, I feel like the part that is designated to them kind of can describe like some of their weaknesses, and I think that's really cool how that was done, because this cover overall is really, really great. The solo covers I like of the guys significantly better, because I feel like the girls are a little too high, but they do blend in really well here in the full cover. Miku, I'm not sure she was the best choice for a Vocaloid here, but she works out because she doesn't stand out in any way, shape, or form, and her tuning is, for the most part, really good. But this is a great cover. It's also a bit dark at times, but I like the upbeat feel of it. It is really one that you can get up and dance to moving forward. Number 44 is Alien Alien, and to be honest, I think this one rivals Remote Control for my favorite Emu Nene cover in the game. I have been trying to full combo this master chart until I finally did it a couple weeks ago, and I really did a deep analysis of the song then, and honestly, I like it a lot. It's a really, really nice song to dance to. I remember just bopping my head like towards the middle of the song. It was just really great. It does have some slight modulation issues, I think. Not the modulation itself, but in terms of how Emu and Nene handle it. I'm not sure if it's like not a key at all when they're kind of rapping towards the middle, but I think it works out. And the actual modulation key change towards the end sounds really, really good. I do wish there was a Nene cover of the song rather than just Emu, but Emu and Nene together sound really, really good, so I'm not complaining at all moving forward. Number 43 is Happy Synthesizer, and this song, boy does it give me flashbacks. This was the first song I ever played when I started playing the game. I remember how happy I was when I cleared it on easy difficulty. This song, and this cover in particular, as well as the MV, I actually really, really like. It just makes me smile, it makes me so happy. Not enough to where I'd cry, of course. But either way, this is a really, really great cover, and I feel like even though there are double covers here, I feel like the cover with the group as a whole works out really, really well, because a lot of the harmonies shown here are a bit better, and overall I think it's nice that everybody gets a chance to show off their different individual voices, and this cover is just a really nice and happy, no pun intended, cover moving forward. Number 42 is Egoist, and this is one of the very few times that Akito just does not go up in the stratosphere. And while he sounds really, really good up there, as I have said multiple times in this video, it's so nice that we finally get to hear some of his lower range. This is another song where I feel like the octaves work really, really well, especially with Akito finally on the lower octave instead of the higher octave. That's very nice for a change, and it's an unusual thing. But it works out really well here. There is a brief modulation period in the song that I think the singers handle really well. This is one that is relatively new, so I haven't had too much time to do a deep analysis on it, but overall it's just a really good cover that I've started to enjoy recently, moving forward. Number 41 is Romeo and Cinderella, and this is another one that I'm not really sure teenagers should be singing, but then again, I'm not really sure about my personal opinion on this, so please don't attack me for it, because I don't know. But anyways, just ignoring what the song is about and just thinking about like the beat and the lyrics of the song and the way the singers put in the emotion, I feel like it works really, really well. I especially love the chorus of this song. It always makes me smile. Airi and Shizuku are a perfect pair for this, being older, more veteran idols. I feel like this works really well for them to be able to sing about it. Miku's tuning works well. She starts out really well. And I like the key change at the end. I do have a small problem with this cover, and that's that they only included the key change for like less than 5 seconds at the end, because I feel like when I listened to the full version, the key change was just really, really great, and I feel like it would have been maybe a bit better if we'd gotten to hear Airi and Shizuku go up a bit higher, but the cover for what it is really, really good, moving forward. Number 40 is Kimagure Mercy, and this is another one to where when I first saw the song before I actually heard it, I didn't think I would like it, but I was very pleasantly surprised. This is a really, really great More Jump cover. It's in the key of C minor. This is another one where a minor key manages to be upbeat and like makes you want to dance, and that's really, really great here that More Jump can keep their typical style while singing in a minor key. It's just a really wonderful cover. I feel like Miku works great here, because I'm not sure, I think she was the original singer based on the cover art, but this is a really enjoyable song to listen to. I feel like the theme fits More Jump really well, and that's what puts it at number 40 on this list, moving forward. Number 39 is Reto Joto, or Bring It On. And contrary to popular belief, I really like this cover. Yes, I've heard the original and the cover, but I think that this cover is not done badly at all, especially when Kohane and An have their solos. I think that's really, really great. Rin and Len both have excellent tuning here. I feel like Kohane in particular does really well. An, when she hits that high note, is great. And this cover is also in a minor key, but makes you want to jump up and dance if you like the song. And I just think this works really well. It's about like a child just wanting to become an adult and being tired of like all the childish things. And I feel like Rin and Len especially work really well for that, but the Vivids shockingly also work really well for that. So that's about it for this cover, moving forward. Number 38 is The Snow White Princess Is, and this is one of the most recent covered songs that has come out in Project Sekai as of the day I'm recording this. And to be honest, this cover is exceptional. I really love how at the beginning we get to hear the girls low range, Minori especially, because that's very difficult for her character. And so I commend Oguro-san for really shining here. But everyone sounds really, really great. There is a lot of modulation in the song. We go from minor to major to minor to major, and this is handled really, really well. I was able to hear Miku really well during her little solo there towards the middle, and her tuning, I think, actually works really, really well here. She doesn't really sound robotic at all. She sounds human. As close to human as she can be. And I think that works really well with this song because this is about a princess. And I think that it's kind of necessary to not be robotic, like kind of like remote control you kind of had to be. But here, I feel like it's necessary that Miku's tuning is the way it is. I think it's really great. So moving forward. Number 37 is Alter Ego, and when this song first came to Project Sekai, and all my friends were picking it, I wasn't sure why, until I did a deep analysis of this song, and now I completely understand why. All vocals here are just done so incredibly. The solo covers are great as well, An and Toya's I like especially, but the way this song is built and the way it's done with like the line distribution and the blending, it's really, really good. My only issue is I can't really hear Miku that well for most of the song. So it was a little difficult to kind of understand how well she fit there, since we're just talking about the cover in the game and not really But I think everything was done really well here. The chorus, where especially the guys were up in their upper range, that's the only part I kind of have a slight problem with. I feel like they stood out a bit. Not that they were straining or anything, but I do feel like they stood out a bit, which is fine because they might have been supposed to do that. And honestly, where's the Kohane cover? Where's the Kohane cover? I would have loved to hear Akina cover this because I feel like she would have done fabulously. But either way, this is a really great cover moving forward. Number 36 is Bitter Choco Decoration, and while I don't really like the choreography in the MV because to me it feels like they just walk in a circle, I think this cover is done really, really well. I'm glad it was a full night chord cover because honestly I feel like if it was a dual cover, it wouldn't have gotten the message across as well as it maybe should have. So here with night chord and each of their individual voices and personalities, that's how I feel that it should be. And Miku works really well here as well because this is one of like the classic night court songs, so this is where like I think Miku still was the only Vocaloid they had at that time. But either way, Miku works great here. And overall, this is just a wonderful cover. Moving forward. Number 35 is Rain and Petra. And the thing that really stands out to me about this song that I really, really like is Toya's vocals, especially in the chorus. Because during this cover, I feel like Ito-san had like really, really worked on his high range, and it paid off here. It really, really paid off. I enjoy listening to the chorus a lot, and especially the instrumental parts of this song. They really just they make me want to bop my head and dance even while I'm doing the chart. Len was a good pick here. It's a little hard to judge how well his tuning is, but other than that, it's good. Akito sounds good, and the thing about this cover is Akito doesn't really stand out that much, and I like that. I feel like Toya kind of gets his own chance to shine here without being overshadowed by Akito. Not that Akito doesn't have a wonderful, wonderful voice, but it's nice that Toya kind of gets to take the lead here. So this is a really great cover. Moving forward. Number 34 is Your Adventure Log Has Vanished, or a Japanese name that, well, there it is, but I'm not going to try and read it right now. This, I think, was perfect for an Emukasa cover, because I feel like Nene and Rui are a bit more, like, mature ones in the group, and not saying that Emu and Tsukasa aren't, I'm just saying Nene and Rui probably would not have fit well for this song, and I'm glad Rin and Len are there, too, because they seem, like, very adventure-type Vocaloids, if you know what I mean. My favorite thing about this song, though, is Emu's vocals. She doesn't sound screamy or squeaky, and I know that's kind of how she's supposed to sound in some songs. I still think that here, her vocals just sound really, really great. And no complaints here on this cover. Moving forward. Number 33 is MKDR or DSCF, whichever language you'd like to call it. And this might be my favorite Kanade Anna cover in the game. You really wouldn't think that Kanade and Anna would just blend so well together, because Anna kind of has a bit more power in her voice. I think this happens with both of the Shinonome siblings. I feel like they just have a lot of power in their voices, and this is no exception with Anna. And but how Kanade here is able to like build up a little bit of power in her voice, I feel like that's really, really outstanding. And Miku works really well here. I feel like she blends in and doesn't stand out and sounds super robotic, but she sounds robotic enough to where it's like it fits in with the nature of the song. But the chorus, especially when Kanade and Anna hit the somewhat high notes, it's an E flat 5, it's not terribly high, but they sound really, really good. And it sounds like in terms of like the emotions that they need for this cover, I feel like they bring them together really, really well. So it's a great cover. Moving forward. Number 32 is Chururira da da da. Excuse me, I pronounced that first one incorrectly. But what I thought was very interesting about this cover is that there's no Vocaloid. I honestly, when I heard that this cover was coming to Project Sekai, I thought there would definitely be a Vocaloid. But the way it's done with no Vocaloid is really, really good, in my opinion. I especially love how the girls get to show their low ranges at the beginning. I feel like they do great jobs there. Emu especially. I feel like we need to hear more of Emu's deeper voice, more of her lower range. I know it's more difficult for her, but it still sounds really, really good. And I like, maybe it's the bridge, I'm not really sure what it is, but where the girls sing and then the guys sing, that's a really, really great part. The only complaint I have about this cover is the octaves with the girls at the beginning. I feel like the higher octave just wasn't necessary and it sounds squeaky and not too great. But other than that, this is a really awesome cover moving forward. Number 31 is Venom, and I cannot understate how much I love this cover. I think Mizuki and Anna were perfect choices here because I feel like you need the power that Mizuki and Anna have that Kanade and Mafuyu kind of lack, except when it's absolutely necessary. So I feel like Mizuki and Anna really were the perfect pair here. And I also like that there's no Vocaloid here because I feel like the parts where like Anna is shadowing Mizuki and the parts where Mizuki is shadowing Anna, I think it works really well. There is some modulation in this piece, and I also think that works really, really well. But overall, this is a great cover moving forward. Number 30 is Do Not Go or Ikanaide, and I absolutely love this cover. I told you all some Leonid songs we're gonna make higher up on the list. Now this cover is done by Ichika, Saki, and Miku, even though Shiho and Honami are there in the 3D MV, playing their instruments. The way this cover gives me an otherworldly feel, it just feels like out of this world. It feels unreal. And I really like how they try to stay as true to the original song as they can, but they stray off a perfect amount just to make it their own. And that's what I think makes this cover so special. It's really heartwarming and heart-wrenching at the same time, and I just think it works really, really well moving forward. Number 29 is 1925, and this is another one that I hadn't really heard until I did my analysis for this video, and it is great. All of the seiyu's vocals here are just wonderful. Emu's is so fun and happy, Nene's is elegant, as is Rui's, and Tsukasa's is just lovely to listen to. My only complaint about this cover is Miku's tuning. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's not horrible, she doesn't stand out terribly, but I just don't really like it that much. I will say that Rui's vocals, such as right here, are so beautiful. Especially when he gets up in his higher range, you can tell he's really worked on that. And you can tell that the seiyus and the characters have just improved so much and come so far. And it's really, really nice to see that here. But anyways, this is overall a really, really good cover moving forward. Number 28 is Cutlery, and it is so funny to me how such a happy sounding song with little happy duck sounding noises can be so dark. It's like, what? And it's amazing how Kanade and Mafuyu, with their like soft voices together, they managed to make it seem both happy and sad at the same time. Like dual cover with dual emotions. It's really, really incredible. Miku here, I like her tuning. I feel like she kind of blends in with Mafuyu and Kanade, and I feel like that kind of needs to happen because this is definitely not a cover where a Vocaloid should stand out. This is a cover where like there's quiet singing, nice, soft, smooth, and I feel like whoever tuned Miku did it very, very well. This is a really great cover to listen to moving forward. Number 27 is As You Like It, and for those of you who know me, you know Rui is my favorite character in the game, and a big reason that contributes to that is his vocals. He sounds so good here. He's really the highlight of this, though all the seiyus did a really great job here. My only thing is, where's Len? I can't hear him. Maybe it was the environment to which I did my analysis of this song, but I can't hear Len. I feel like he would have been like, well, he is a great contribution to this song, but I can't hear him very well. And I also really like Emu's vocals here. I feel like this is another one to where she doesn't sound like, I'm not gonna say that word because that would make it sound mean. She doesn't sound like a little too loud or too squeaky, because the Seiyu has a wonderful, wonderful voice, and it's honestly just the character in general that sometimes sounds like that. It's not the Seiyu in the slightest. But I feel like here she really blends well, and when she's singing an octave higher, when they're doing octaves right before the chorus, I feel like that's one of the most perfect ways to go about this song. They stayed pretty true to the original, and I like it a lot moving forward. Number 26 is Ifu Dodo, and we are excluding what the song is about when we're talking about this cover, because this is another one that I'm not sure teenagers should be singing. I mean, I know Kaito is not, of course, but other than that. But then again, like I said, in Romeo and Cinderella, I don't know my personal opinion about this, and so please don't come attack me for it. I'm just going to be talking about the cover itself. The cover was transposed significantly. It was originally in G minor, and it's transposed down to D minor here. And I understand that because G minor is incredibly high, the way it's written for Akato and Toya to hit. So I get that. Kaito's tuning here in the full version, you were able to really hear him. So I'll go off of that. It's really good. I like it a lot. But here, it's a little difficult to hear him. But I do like the full version of this cover a little bit better than what's in the game, but this overall is a great cover, and I have danced to this cover so many times, just because it's so much fun, especially that instrumental part in the middle. It's just overall, such a fun, lovely cover, excluding what it's about moving forward. Number 25 is Time Machine, and when I first heard this song, I was a little shocked that it wasn't a commissioned song, just because of how well it fits Leonid. It fits them so incredibly well, and Saki's piano intro at the beginning, it tugs at my heartstrings. This is a beautiful cover in the key of A flat major, which, as I stated earlier, I really do love that key. And especially when Ichiga begins to sing in the beginning, she hits a very, very low E flat 3, and she sings a lot in the third octave, which is a bit low for females, and I think she does that really, really well. Her voice just sounds like so soft and flowing, and I think that works really well here, just with Ichiga, Saki, and Miku. Miku's tuning I like a lot, and I like the spots where they chose to give her a solo, because I feel like that's kind of the build-up, and Ichiga and Saki being a bit softer, and then Miku kind of adding that little crescendo there to it. I think it works perfectly. Overall, though, this is an incredible cover moving forward. Number 24 is Patchwork Staccato, and in my opinion, this cover is chef's kiss. I know a lot of people are not the biggest fans of this cover, so this is probably an unpopular opinion, but to me, I think it works perfectly. The song is originally in A minor, but it is transposed down to F minor, which is an interesting choice in my opinion, because it feels like that was in A minor was in the idol's comfortable range, but when they go down to F minor, they hit astronomically low notes. Both Shizuku and Airi hit a C3, which I don't know about you all, but that's near the very bottom of my personal vocal range, and I think they do really well. I think Shizuku and Airi, as like the older, more experienced idols, were the best to do a song like this, because it is much, much darker than More Jump's normal style. I like it a lot. Miku's tuning very well matches the character of the song and the overall sound of it. I think she does quite well, especially for her being in a lower octave. And overall, this cover just slaps to me. It's so good. And the harmonies in the chorus are very, very good as well. I feel like that really captures the, hey, this song is not the happy song that you would think you're gonna get from More Jump. So kudos to Toa, the composer, and kudos to the seiyus. Overall, excellent cover moving forward. Number 23 is When the Morning Glory Falls. Here you are, Leonid fans. Another cover that I think is done so well by them. I'm going to point out at first, though I know this is a strange thing to point out first, Miku's harmonies in the chorus and then at the part slightly after the chorus are done so incredibly. In the chorus, she has higher harmonies than Ichiga and Honami, but afterwards she goes lower, and I think that's great how they decided to mix that up a little. I think it makes it sound really good. But this song seems very, very sweet, and it really kind of makes me imagine a sunrise. Ichigo and Honami's voices definitely help with that. Honami in particular, I'm so glad we get to hear her finally, because it's not common that we get to hear her and like analyze her beautiful vocals, but I feel like here the line distribution was done quite well, and then with Miku having all the harmonies, it's just chef's kiss. Moving forward. Number 22 is Shanty, and boy do I like this cover. I really like how the lyrics themselves, they kind of feel like just kind of like sailors talking to each other, and it's sometimes they don't really make too much sense, but overall it's like right here it doesn't really make too much sense, but I feel like that's kind of the point of like a shanty, like a work song. I feel like that works really, really well here. But I also want to point out towards the middle where they're all like rapping, especially Toya. Ito-san nailed that. I feel like if you were a native Japanese speaker, he enunciated every word enough to where I feel like you could really understand what he was saying really well. Even I, as someone who's relatively semi-fluent in Japanese, don't have too much of a problem understanding him. But everybody does great, especially Toya, though. Kaito's tuning I really like here. He also has to talk quite quickly, and that's a lot of note switching on the producer's part and the tuners, so I think overall they did a great job with that. I like the dark feel of this, but it kind of feels like just the sea in general. The sea at night is kind of the image I get, but overall this is a really great cover in terms of like visualization and just how it was executed. Moving forward. Number 21 is YY, and to be honest, why can't VBS have more cute little group happy songs like this? It suits them so well. I love each character's vocals here. It's a little hard to judge like how well Miku fits here, but just the vocals of the seiyus here are done so well. And when Akito does eventually go up there in the stratosphere, in the chorus, he sounds really, really good. It's really, really clean, really doesn't sound like he's straining, and I love that a lot. It's absolutely perfect. But overall, this is just a wonderful cover, and I apologize that there isn't too much to say about it, but moving forward. Number 20 is Odore Orchestra, or Dance Orchestra, and to be quite honest, I am absolutely in love with this cover. I think Luca was a great choice of Vocaloid, and I think it's very good that all of WXS got to cover this, because it really does sound like a choir singing about the great things that an orchestra can do, and having been in an orchestra myself, I completely understand that and can relate to that. I really like the line distribution here. It's nice that everybody gets a chance to be individuals and show off their individuality here. It's a really, really beautiful cover. It starts out in E major, goes to F major. Both of those are very happy and fun keys, and I really, really like that. This cover just brings me a lot of joy, and I hope it brings you joy as well, moving forward. Number 19 is Usewa, and while I do think this song is incredibly overpicked in the game, it is an amazing cover. I'm very glad Mizuki was picked here because Sato-san does an incredible job conveying the emotions, but to be honest, I actually think Mafuyu was another great choice here rather than Ena, because I feel like it's nice that she is able to stray off from like how she usually sings in terms of her character, so kudos to Tanabe-san there as well. I like the emotions they have, like this, just the anger and the frustration and the rage based on what the song is about. They're just telling someone to be quiet and like, I don't want to follow your norms, and I like that a lot because Mizuki and Mafuyu have both been through so much, all of Night Court has, and they don't want to conform to people's expectations. They don't want to just become the person that other people want them to be, and I'm glad Mafuyu especially gets to let her true emotions out here. I think they both do a great job. This is an incredible cover that also has some modulation that's handled very well. Moving forward. Number 18 is Brain Revolution Girl, and this is a cover that I just heard recently because this song, as of the day I'm recording this. It came out in Project Sekai only a couple of months ago. I believe it was during the summer. But I think VBS does an incredible job with this cover. I think Miku's tuning is really good. It's not like soft, but it's not cutesy. I feel like she can normally be sometimes. I feel like she has the perfect amount of power, and I also feel like VBS, in terms of their own vocals, they also do an incredible job. I will especially compliment An and Kohane in their lower range, because they still manage to make the notes sound bright and not struggled, if you know what I mean. So everyone here just does a really great job. The vocals mix and blend very well together, and this is another cover where I think the octaves just work really, really well. And I think there is not a lot wrong with this cover, but there are just a few that surpass it, in my opinion, moving forward. Number 17 is Heartbeat number 0822, and let me tell you, this cover makes me sob every time I hear it. It is so moving and so refreshing to hear Ichika and Honami sing this song. It just moves me every time, and it's just one of the most wholesome songs that Leonid has, though they do have a lot of wholesome songs. It really just seems like there's, like Miku is doing here, like they're just singing to the heavens, just hoping and just praying. And to me, that picture in my head just is so heart-wrenching. The line distribution here is quite good, though I do wish Honami got a bit more. Miku's tuning does not ruin this cover in any way. In fact, I feel like her tuning actually matches well and blends well with Ichika and Honami's voices. But overall, this cover is incredible. Let's get to the last few. Number 16, my least favorite number, is Tale of the Deep Sea Lily. And this is one of the top Leonid songs I have ranked on this list, and that is for a number of reasons. I really like how this song was handled. There are some quicker parts, and I feel like the seiyus did really well there. Miku as well adds a wonderful touch to this piece, and I like that Honami especially gets her chance to shine, even though Ichika is relatively center stage most of the time, but then again, she is in most of the MVs to begin with. But either way, this is a really great song. It's in a very difficult key. It's in the key of G flat major or F sharp major, same thing. So it's got a lot of sharps or flats for those of you who don't know much about music. It's in, and it changes to G major at the very end, but either way, very difficult key, got some good modulation. This is a beautiful cover, and I absolutely love it. Moving forward. Number 15 is Charles, and if you've been watching for this long, you will know that I love Mizuki and Aina covers. I feel like they both have a lot of power in their voice, but since this song wasn't necessarily supposed to be all about just being angry or just raging, I feel like they have a different kind of power for this cover, and I feel like it works really well. I like both the Mizuki cover and the Aina cover of this song, but together, their voices just blend so well. I really wish we had more dual covers of them, though we do of course have Venom and a couple others. However, this one is just really fantastic. They sound great in their higher range, great in their super low range. I like the muffled kind of effect they have there at the beginning. And overall, it's just a really excellent cover. I love to listen to this. It's in the key of E flat major. I believe the original was in G, so it's transposed down a bit, which I like because it adds like its own touch to it, and it's really beautiful. And I love this cover. I love the MV. It's all just fantastic. Moving to the last few. Number 14 is Villain, and I also really like this cover. This cover really seems like Mizuki and Mafuyu are challenging you to test them, like kind of saying, try me. Like, you all know that meme. I can't say the last word, but you know that meme. This is a really pretty cover. It's in E minor, which is one of my favorite keys. I love this little dance Mizuki's doing there. This is really pretty. I feel like Mafuyu in particular does a great job here. I feel like this cover was kind of suited towards her though. Mizuki of course was a wonderful addition, but I really like how Mafuyu sounds, especially at the beginning. She sounds like she's just so emotionless, and she's just ready to be challenged, and she knows that she will win because she is her own person. And this is just a lovely cover. The mixing is fantastic in my opinion. I think it sounds really good. With all that being said, let's move on. Number 13 is Fixer, and I could listen to this cover over and over and over again. I love it. No words can overstate how much I love this cover. I believe this is my favorite Ruikasa cover currently in the game, and I believe it is the one that is ranked the highest as well, if I remember correctly. But this is so great. Hirose-san and Toki-san nail it. They do so good. The line distribution is fantastic. It really allowed me to be able to get a good analysis done on this cover. This cover is also in E minor, just like the one before it. And it is a bit dark, but I kind of like that. I like that we get a Ruikasa cover. Of course, King is more kind of like playful and mischievous, but this one is a bit dark, and I enjoy that. I love the English at the beginning. It kind of threw me for a loop when I first heard it, but this cover is great, and I sing the chorus whenever I can. You know, the Shizume, Shizume. It's just so great. I don't really have much else to say about this cover, but just know that it is fantastically done moving forward. Number 12 is one that when I was doing my research for this video and was looking at all the lists, the list of the covered songs currently in the game, I did not expect this one to get probably even in the top 50, let alone in the top 12. But when I listened to this, I was like, wow, this is a beautiful cover. Lens tuning really matches the overall sound and character of the song. I love how... What I really love about this cover is how it starts at a key where the guys are comfortable and they get their own time to shine, and both of them sound so great. I love that they're up in their higher range. I love the vibrato they use in their higher range. It's beautiful. And then here we have Emu and Nene singing, and they're in their lower ranges, and both Emu and Nene, despite them being sopranos, have a beautiful lower ranges. And it's great that we get to hear just such a variety of different things from WXS in this song. I love what this is about. It's about like you only live once and getting out there and just doing what you need to do. I mean, even as a cat. But either way, this cover is fantastic, and I hate that I didn't notice that before, moving forward. Number 11 is Ama no Jaku, and this is one that I had only just heard when it came out on the EN server just a few days ago, but I think this song is fantastic. This cover is done really well. There is a lot of modulation and a lot of tonicization in this song as well, but either way, I think this song does great. My favorite vocals in the song are definitely Shiho, so I listen to the Shiho cover frequently, but either way, all 4 of Leonid's members sound really great here. When I think of this song, I often imagine like just the heavens and things being created, and like just on a rainy day. I know those are 2 very different things, but that's the picture I get in my head. I like how this kind of that little picture right there before where it kind of shows like Saki in the hospital. She just wants to like break free, and they want to like be free from like all these things that like plague them. I really like that, and this is a very well done cover. Moving forward to the top 10. Number 10 is Gehenna, and I just recently heard this cover when it came out on the EN server, and I cannot full combo this expert chart for the life of me because of the end, but I finally did, and I was finally able to focus on the song. Miku's tuning here is really good. She's a bit softer to make way for Mizuki and Anna, and I think that's really great. I feel like this was a great fit for Mizuki and Anna because while it's not powerful and raging, kind of like Charles, it's still a really good fit for them because I feel like it gives them a chance to show off their softer sides with a touch of more power that they usually possess in the chorus. I think the modulation here is done quite well. It goes from G minor to, I believe, A flat minor, so I think it goes up a half step. But this is overall just a fantastic cover. It's pretty dark, but then again, most of Nightcore's songs are, and the emotions put into this song are just so great. So let's move forward. Number 9 is Hello, How Are You? And this is one of, if not my very favorite cover in the game. I would say it's one of, because my favorite cover in the game is to come later. This cover is fantastic. It is one of the best covers of this song I have heard. The lyrics cut so deep, and so many of us can relate to what the girl in the song is going through. Mafuyu and Anna nail it. Miku is also such a great addition to the song. It's so great. I love the little rain sound effect, because you can just imagine you're sitting there staring out the window and you're just not feeling happy. And I know so many of us, I'm getting a little emotional here, oh my goodness, have gone through that. And it's just, it's such an incredible cover. It's in the key of E major, which offers a lot of hope, as I suggested earlier. And I like that even though it's sad, you can kind of feel like the hope in the song. It's such a perfect cover for Night Court, and I'm glad they got it. So let's move forward. Number 8 is Teo, and a lot of you may be surprised, but this is the highest ranking Leonid song on this list. And to be honest, I love this cover. I actually like it a bit better than I like the original, because I think the octaves here, with the girls being in the lower octaves and Miku being up high, works really well, because I feel like you need a touch of both just to make the song even better. And I love that Leonid got it, because I feel like this song with the instrumentals is kind of meant for a band, and I'm just so happy about that, because this cover's so great. The instrumentals, this cover is in the same key as the original E major or C sharp minor. It's a little difficult to tell which one, because I feel like it modulates. But either way, this is really great. I love the kind of like Hello, How Are You? There is a bit of hope in the song, and a little bit of happiness, kind of talking about sparkling in the chorus. The repeated words in the chorus are done really well. I feel like that would be very difficult to just nail down, and Leonid nails it. So I know this may be an unpopular opinion, but this is one of my favorite Leonid covers. So let's move forward. Number 7 is Non-Breath Oblige, and this is also a cover that I heard for the first time really recently. I adore it. I really like how it seems like, just as the title suggests, that the singers are singing so quickly and it's just so hard for them to like catch their breath as they sing. They really present that emotion so well, while at the same time making this cover sound easy, like it was just a breeze for them. And that's something that, making something look easy that in reality is incredibly difficult, is something not many people have the ability to do. And I think Night Court nails it here. The lower range in the beginning, where they're all talking super quickly, the chorus, the English, the little English parts, I mean, it's all just beautiful. I love listening to this song. Even though it is a bit repetitive towards the end, I think it is so beautiful. This is one of the best Night Court covers in the game, in my opinion, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do, moving forward. Number 6 is Airhead, or Garando, and thank you to Color of Myself on YouTube for this video, but this cover I am obsessed with, and I have been since it released in the game. I adore this cover so much. Len's tuning here, I think, is so good. He does sound a bit robotic, but I feel like that kind of fits the nature of the song. Especially Len in his super low range, we don't get to hear that really often, and I think it really works well for this song. I really love how this song kind of emits the frustrated and annoyed energy. I saw a comment, thank you to Oversama on YouTube for inspiring me to say this, they left this comment, and the comment says, this strikes them as the perfect song about when you're annoyed or frustrated about something that just isn't really worth it. It just kind of has that energy to it, and because of like how random the song is, and not to mention it's just a beautiful song to listen to. But the song's lyrics being so incredibly frustrated, and the beat of the song, the music itself, just being so great to listen to, it's a very nice contrast, and I love it. Akito and Toya sound incredible here. Both of their vocals, Toya's insane laugh he does at the beginning, it's just so great. Akito's paparadadudu. I love it so much, but I'm going to have to move forward before I go on a tangent, so let's move on. Number 5 is Telecaster B-Boy, and this is one of, if not the best, Wonderland's Showtime covered songs in the game. I so love this cover, especially the line distribution in the first verse, where everybody gets their own time to shine, and Emu and Nene are in their lower ranges because they sound so good. Like I said earlier, we need to hear more, especially of Emu's lower range, because her lower range is very underrated. It sounds perfect, and the guys in their lower range sound wonderful too. Lens tuning is very good. This song is a very danceable song, I guess you could call it, but and it's kind of funny because the meaning of the song is honestly not that happy and bright, but it sounds like it is, kind of similar to some of the songs we've discussed previously. But this cover is executed so incredibly well, and kudos to WXS for it. Let's move forward. Number 4 is Shoujo Rei. This song was made by Makito P, who has made so many wonderful songs of this nature in the past, but I think Haruka and Shizuku were the absolute perfect two of the group, because I feel like their vocals kind of blend a bit. They're the bit softer and sweeter of More Jumps, next to Airi and Minori kind of having a bit more power. I feel like they were perfect for this song because this song is very heart-wrenching, yet it's so good. The modulation in the song is handled so well. I really love how this gives you the energy of like just a girl who's no longer with us and is like traversing her homeland, traversing the station here in the background. It works so well. I love how smooth Haruka and Shizuku sound and how well they blend together. Plus, Miku's tuning is also very good. There are not many negative things to say about this cover, so let's move forward. Number 3 is Hated by Life Itself, or Inochi ni Kirawarete Iru, and this cover is done so well. To me, it really feels like Kanade directed this at Mafuyu. It's like, the message here is like, even if you are struggling to live, even if you don't want to live, just live in the moment. And it feels like she's directing this at Mafuyu. She's like, I don't want you to disappear. It's like she's pleading with her, and I love that. This song is just so very emotional, and I feel like the way Kanade sang this is absolutely perfect. There are not a single complaint I have about this cover. Even Miku's tuning is incredible. There is no complaint about this cover that I have, so let's move forward to the top 2 that I think surpass it. Number 2 is Aon no Beats, and this, in my opinion, is the best Akitoya cover in the game, Vocaloid or no Vocaloid. I love this cover. I love that Toya sings with such a soft voice, Akito sings with such a charming voice. I absolutely love, it seems like the message of this song is so powerful, and it kind of seems like Akito and Toya are singing it to each other, singing it to just those who they want to be loved by, and it seems fantastic. And just the modulation in the song is done so incredibly well, and I'm kind of glad there's no Vocaloid, because honestly, I feel like we needed to focus on the humans here. As bad as that sounds, I love Vocaloids, but either way, I just feel like we needed to focus on Akito and Toya and their own emotions and the own things that they've been through. The lyrics can cut a bit deep because they are relatable to so many people. The interpretations of this song are just done so fabulously, and to be honest, I think I may like this cover even more than I like the original. Like this lyric here, give it back someday, be gentle, okay? Give me back my heart. I love that Toya sings with just such a sad voice. It's like it's like both of them. They just really want to understand like the matters of the heart, and this is just so perfect. Not to mention the music here is just incredible. But let's move on to my favorite cover in the game. Number 1 is Ghost City Tokyo, and to be honest, there is not a single thing about this cover that I do not like. Kaito's tuning is perfect, Akito and Toya's vocals are perfect, the blending is amazing, the mixing, spectacular, the key change, the modulation is done so well. I could go on and on about everything I like about this cover, but I'll keep it short. This song kind of reminds me of Machi, which is my favorite commission song, because it's talking about just a city, and it really makes me imagine like the city that's abandoned and like seeing yourself in that city and just being like, what part do I play in this? It's just, it really makes me feel something, because this song does hit very close to home for me. And not to mention, the instrumental solo with Kaito towards the end is just so good. As well as, of course, his tuning makes him sound almost human, with a slight hint of robotic in it, which is good, because I feel like you need that in terms of a Ghost City. But I love this cover so much. I love how the line distribution is, especially right here. Toya especially really stands out to me. I feel like he sounds fantastic. Those high notes that they all hit together, it's just perfect. So great. And all of that and so much more puts it at my favorite cover in the game, as well as the top-ranked cover on this list. We have made it through all 134 covered songs in the game, and I just wanted to thank you all so much if you made it this far. It was October 4th when I began recording. It is now October 7th upon its completion, so it has been 3 days of tireless work in the making. So I so hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave your own comments in the comments about how you feel about the covers in the game. But for now, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Really helps me out, really helps the channel out, though this is a just for fun channel. Again, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!